welcome to a sleepy vlog. I just wanted to take a moment in this intro to explain why this isn't me reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Hold on. Because I did say I was going to vlog myself reading that and that would be my next video. However, things happened and I don't have as much time to vlog. I do have the time to read it, even though I don't think it's a book that you should read quickly from like just the looking at it from, I read like a couple pages and it does seem like a book that you want to take the time to digest. So I didn't want to rush it and I didn't want to rush the vlog. So instead I am doing this quick vlog where I read, hello? What's it called? The Love Hypothesis. And I gotta get out of this hot car. Give me a second. I haven't read a lot of contemporary romance recently, so that'll be fun to jump back into. I also just heard it, well, I didn't just hear this, but I've heard it's Raylo fan fiction. So if you know me, you know I'm a Star Wars fan, but I don't like the sequels. And I wasn't going to get into it, but I absolutely must. Okay, listen. The original Star Wars trilogy, it's the beloved original trilogy. We love it. Excuse me, it's great. The prequels aren't that bad. Let's be honest. Everyone's thinking it. Every single person I know, you're all thinking it. There's no one out there that disagrees with me on this. The prequels aren't that bad. The story isn't that bad. The concept isn't that bad. It was the writing. It was George Lucas going, I'm not going to hire writers and I'm going to do it all myself. And then we got that dialogue. But we also got the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? I thought not. It's not a story the Jedi would tell you. It's a Sith legend. Darth Plagueis is the Dark Lord of the Sith, so powerful and so wise. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the sequels. The sequels are just, I have said this before, but the whole, like, they were so back and forth. It felt like an argument between Rian Johnson and J.J. Abrams. I couldn't remember the name. But you know, I loved the cast. I think they were great. I think they did well with what they had. I hate how they got hate for those movies. Just, they didn't need to happen, and I feel like they just kind of like took the original trilogy and they just like ruined everything that Star Wars was, and I just have very strong feelings about that, but I'm not going to let that seep into my opinions on The Love Hypothesis. I'm not gonna go, well, you're based on characters from the Star Wars trilogy, the Star Wars sequels that I don't like, so I just like, Palpatine returned, come on, like, I can't. I realized I didn't explain what I'm doing well enough. I'm still vlogging me reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. It's just gonna come out a little later than I was going to originally, because the timeline, like, what the stuff I have to do, I can't vlog around that, so just the timeline's getting a little messed up, but it's fine. Good evening. I read a couple chapters and then I accidentally took a nap, but you cannot blame me because I have been afflicted with the tired sleepy for so long. But so far I like it. I was kind of nervous because it's a Raylo fan fiction made into a book, but I mean, it's not horribly written or anything. It's a little silly, but I think it's meant to be. And you know, there's a plot, there's been a little bit of mystery sprinkled in already, and it's not like I think poorly of fan fiction. I've read some really great fan fictions. I love fan fiction, but I mean, I've heard people, and I myself have done this before, called like some books that aren't well written read like an unedited fan fiction, and I have said that about a popular book that I didn't like so much, but then I'm like, I don't really want to say that because it feels mean to fan fiction, because I really like fan fiction, but in my head I'm thinking like when people say that, they're meaning like a 13-year-old's unedited fan fiction, because no one's best work was made when they were 13. Come on, look at your art when you were 13. Was it your best art? Mine wasn't. I wrote fan fiction on accident when I was 9. By accident, I mean, I didn't know what fan fiction was, and I just thought it was completely original of me to have an OC that was a witch fighting Calabar from Halloween Town. That's a completely original story. I don't know what you're talking about. The lighting in here puts a shadow on my face, but I can't do anything about that. So I am at the point where they have agreed to fake date. I did think I heard that this was a fake dating story and Grumpy X Sunshine, but I still think Adam's pretty down bad already. I'm seeing hints of him being down bad, because We know that he's the guy, I mean, I'm assuming he's the guy that she met in the bathroom when her contact lens made her so she couldn't see because they were expired. It's a whole thing in the very beginning of the story. But I also can't wait to find out where things go with the rest of the story too. My hypothesis, if you will, is that it's gonna make me very sad. And I'm not ready for that. We've met Dr. Benton and he has frat boy energy. That's all I'm gonna say. He's also very brash. Like, you can't be asking these questions. I do also have to take a second to talk about Olive's advisor being named Aslan because I do keep picturing a lion. Feeling incredibly seen right now because Adam doesn't like chocolate and I don't like chocolate and I don't care how weird that is. Yeah, I hate Benton. It's fiction. It's fiction. That's simply not possible. But it's fine because it's fiction. So I finished up the book and I have thoughts. So I've never been a PhD student, but I know some, and I think Olive, the main character, embodies that pretty well. She is stressed out, imposter syndrome, doesn't have much time for anything else other than her work and just everything else that comes with the cutthroat world of research level academia. My phone was falling, so I had to move it. But she's a flawed character for sure, but I like when characters have flaws because I think that makes them more well fleshed out and more realistic, but especially when their flaws make sense with their backstory. I will say her whole friend group is pretty bad at communicating, but when they all finally talk it out, it is very heartwarming, and I did like that part. So this definitely isn't a literary masterpiece. The writing isn't perfect. It's quite silly at times, but it's cute, it's a fun read, and it does still discuss some hard topics like cancer, and the plot evokes many different emotions. As I've already said, the characters are well fleshed out, and it calls out the misogyny in STEM and just talks about in general the treatment of women in STEM, so that was very interesting. It's not what I expected. I kind of expected more of just like a romance with smut and not much else going on, which I'm not shaming books for being like that, but I was like, this exceeded my expectations. I was pleasantly surprised by it. But like I said, there's still smut in it, and I will say that the writing of those scenes, I kind of took issue with them. Olive is seemingly demi or gray, definitely on the A spectrum, and I don't think that was handled very well in this book. I think that's probably my biggest criticism, is the way that was handled during this book. But as I've already said, I honestly was pleasantly surprised by this book. It wasn't that bad, all in all. I even forgot it was a Reylo fanfiction until there was a Star Wars reference like 200 pages in. It's really funny because I was holding it up to like try to take screenshots, and and my lightsaber tattoo was next to it, and that made me laugh a little bit. This was my first time reading an Ali Hazelwood book, and since I didn't hate it, I didn't think it was that bad, I might try some of her other books. Honestly, Bride did pique my interest, not gonna lie, so I will probably try that book. And if you guys want me to vlog it, let me know. If you guys like these vlogs, please let me know, because after my last vlog, I kind of decided I wasn't going to vlog anymore because I'm not someone that shares much outside of reading and fandom online. I like to keep most of my life private, so I kind of felt like my vlogs weren't going to be the most exciting. They aren't like adventurous daily vlog type deals. But if you don't mind this kind of vlog where it's just kind of me in my house reading, filming my reactions to reading, then I can definitely do more reading vlogs, probably film even more reactions next time I do it, because I'm still going to do the Invisible Life of Addie LaRue vlog. That is definitely going to happen. And I've enjoyed making this vlog. I do enjoy the more scripted videos, but I have to kind of script them as I'm reading or else I forget. Like with War Storm when I did that, I scripted it well after I finished it, so I kind of forgot how many point of views there were, and I forgot other little criticisms I had with the book, though I like to try to be more positive in my reviews. I definitely had more criticisms that I didn't say. And I'll hold on to forever probably. And I have gotten better at scripting my videos while I'm reading, and I will definitely continue to still do scripted reviews and monthly reading wrap-ups because I really enjoy making those. But if you guys like the vlogs, I'll do more vlogs. Comment down below to let me know what you think, if you would like more of these. And yeah, I'll see you in a week. Like and subscribe for more book content. Mainly fantasy romance, but sometimes I'll do contemporary romance as well. All right, bye.